Why did Riot think the LTA was a good idea? 100 Thieves and some of their players are gone too. Shynox stayed, but he says there's a lack of content, and I can't help with that. I'm just a detective. Is he going to be a fan of Team Liquid? Are they going to have Spawn coaching in person? Do coaches really have that much of an impact they need him in person? Can Dom in person also make a change? Is C9 going to be able to win with Thanatos as the best top lane in the league? Can Lion win with Dokla as their last second replacement? They got inspired. Is he going to save the team, or is it going to be toxic? Will he win it all again? Who is going to win the LCS?
I'm here to answer all those questions. Now, of course, it's a new year, which means a new season and a whole new old name. And not everyone was lucky enough to be able to survive the transition from the LTA back to the LCS. Some of those players were great. Some of them were good. Some of them you might say were bad. I don't want to talk about it. All right, let's talk about the real meat and bones of everything. The suspects who are currently now in the LCS. Starting off, Cloud9. They're looking to be a top contender this year with similar rosters and only one change. They have Thanatos at top lane, Blabber in the jungle, APA is their change in mid lane, Sven and Vulcan as their bot and support, and then Anero and I Will Dominate, who is now coaching in person. Looking to be a favorite, and it looks like they can actually do it. If you're looking at their Kespa Cup results compared to Team Liquid, who is also a favorite, but you don't want to give too much on that because they need to actually live up to the hype for once. Some ways they can win, if they stay strong, having that head start with the Kespa Cup, as long as they don't choke, and Dom actually beats some sense into them now that he's in LA. Ways they can lose this split, Sven and APA hold them back, and honestly, they could get a bad draw considering they play Team Liquid in week 1. Next up on the suspect list, we got Dignitas. They're trying to do an NRG run back. At top lane, they have Photon, who was solid last year. XU at the jungle going back to his Toxic X. Palafox, FBI, and Ignar returning to the LCS to make up 3/5 of that NRG roster who beat G2, with Swiffer as their head coach. With a new roster and some new jerseys to go with it, they're hoping to finally make a run to an international, which they haven't done in a long time. Ways they're able to win this split is if their dream of being NRG Reborn comes true, and the ways that they're gonna lose is if Pay Palafox is continuing to play, and if the Dig curse is real and not even any players are able to break that curse. Next up, we got the team who has to deal with promotion and relegation every year. It's Disguise. Their top suspects are at the top lane, they have Castle, which is the one remaining piece they kept. But it was also their best player probably, so if there's a piece you're gonna keep, it's gonna wanna be Castle. Then you have Kryra, Call Me, and Sagehead all coming new to the LCS. And Lions is coming over from Lions, so who knows if he'll rename to Disguise. With Ito as their coach, honestly, they're looking to be able to upset some teams in the league. Ways they can win is if Castle has a godlike performance. And speaking of God, they honestly might just have to pray because it's looking tough. Ways they're able to lose is if they have to fight for a spot to be able to stay in the league every year. Just let them stay for 2 years so they can build a roster. Up next, we have the reigning champs of the LCS with a new, younger roster. It's FlyQuest. In top lane, they have Gatghost, who was their sub last year and now promoted to the starter. Griffin, who's had a brief stint in Brazil, is coming along in their jungle. Quad and Masu at their mid and bot lane, who are now the veterans of the team, with Cryogen as their new support, and ThinkCard coming back to the LCS from a brief stint in Brazil. Some ways they'd be able to win this league this year is if younger truly means better, and the older you get, the worse that league you get, and if they're able to catch teams off guard who aren't expecting so much from them. However, a way for them to lose is if they're just too inexperienced so far, and they need to be able to grow a bit before they can make a move. Now the team with the big checkbook, we got Lion Gaming. At top lane, they have Dokla because their original option Zamudo is still having visa issues, so he's still not able to get over here. Inspired, who's the best player in the West, they were able to pull through and get him on the roster. He's gonna be a top suspect this year. Saint in the mid lane, and Berserker coming back to the LCS in the bot lane, with Isles as support and Reignover as their coach. Some might say this could be a hot-headed roster. Is that gonna be their downfall? I guess we'll have to see. Lion would be able to win if they can let Inspired do what Inspired does best, which is win, and if Dokla and Isles are able to keep the vibes of the team high. Lion can lose this split if it becomes Tilt City, and after one loss, they just keep on snowballing and lose their mental. And honestly, if Berserker is washed, he didn't have a great end to the LCS, and he hasn't been as great in the LCK, so we'll need a return to form from him if they want to win. Now it's the new dogs to the league, Sentinels. At top lane from Team Liquid, they got Impact. Making his LCS debut at the jungle, they have Hombok. Darkwings, Rahel, and Huhi all made the climb over from DSG, now over to Sentinels. And Golden Glue escaping the Falling 100 Thieves vote to come over and coach. Sentinels would be able to make a run if they have no sophomore slumps. Darkwings and Rahel need to be able to perform this year and not fall into the trap that many other sophomore suspects have fallen into. And Impact also needs to return to form since he didn't have the best year last year. Sentinels would lose the league if they stay as just DSG Part 2. I mean, they already have 3/5 of that roster, so we'll have to see if they can actually move on from the name. Now, Shopify Rebellion is up. They also have a similar roster, keeping 4 out of their 5 spots, with Fudge at the top lane, Contracts at the jungle, Zinni being their pickup in the mid lane, who some say might be the second coming of Christ, but we'll have to wait and see. Bevo and Seos as their bot and support, with Revan and Demonte as their coaches. I think that Shopify is a dark horse who can beat any team, but they can also lose to any team, so we're really gonna have to wait and see on the day how they perform. They're able to win the league since they have an upgraded mid, and honestly, if everyone stays on track, they were playing pretty well, so that shouldn't hold them back. Also a Demonte buff. I mean, any team Demonte's on just seems to do well, so you don't want to count that out. The way that they would lose is inconsistency. I could totally see them beating Cloud9 and Team Liquid, and then I can also see them losing to Disguised and Sentinels. So if they can stay consistent and beat the teams they're supposed to, I think it'll go well for them. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have Team Liquid. They're starting off as the season favorites, with Morgan making his LCS debut in the top lane, Jose Diodo coming back to the LCS at the jungle, Quid and Yeon at mid and bot lane, who are honestly probably both best in their roles this year, Core JJ still at the support, and Spawn still as the head coach. Along with Cloud9, they had a huge head start being able to play in the Kespa Cup, and so we'll see if that is able to keep them rolling to start the season. Team Liquid can win if Yeon and Quid play up to their expectations and have some MVP seasons. But a way they could lose is if there's just too much hype around this roster. It gets to their heads, they lose once, and then they lose their whole identity. So now we've covered all of the teams and their suspects, but the question still remains. Who is gonna win the LCS? I don't know, what am I, some kind of detective? However, don't fret because I don't know the answer yet. Swiss stage starts this weekend, and with that, there's still predictions to be made. Starting off, we have the Kespa Cup Battle of the Bands between Cloud9 and Team Liquid. Sentinels with their first game of the year against their ex-team Disguised. FlyQuest trying to keep that remaining championship alive, going against Shopify Rebellion. With the weekend ending off with Lion against Dignitas. Now, I might not know which team is going to win the whole thing, but of course I know who's going to win this weekend. I mean, I'm a detective. I mean, I gotta know. Here are the winners for this weekend. Team Liquid will beat Cloud9 2-1 in an incredible 3-game series. Sentinels is going to start off their LCS debut with a 2-0 win against Disguise. Shopify Rebellion is going to be able to pull the win away from FlyQuest in a 2-1 series. And Lion is going to start out strong, going 2-0 against Dignitas. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss any more videos coming out soon. I'm going to try and do weekly uploads to cover all of the weekly LCS matches. If you think I missed anything, have a conspiracy of your own, or have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below. And until next time, have a good one.